Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Inspired and Random. And I hope you like my channel content so far. And what I have with me here is a strip of, you know what this is. So that's right, this is Ritalin, and I used to take this for ADHD. I realized in a fairly late stage in my life that I had ADHD, and ever since taking Ritalin at that point of time, I realized I could concentrate so much better. And it's almost like in the past when things used to float over my head, I could suddenly just take it in. But what I didn't like about taking these Ritalin tablets is that whenever I took them, as a sportsman, I felt that it kind of like would put a strain on my pulse rate. So I felt that my pulse would be higher than usual. No doubt when I play sports, I could concentrate better, my timing was better, and it got to a point that I was kind of hooked on how these would help my sport. But then at the same time, I also realized that if I didn't have sufficient rest the night before, I would feel that I would have to take more frequent breaks because these pills would get me speeded up so much that I have to bring myself back down. So during the period of COVID, um, I actually got off the Ritalin tablets, and that's what I wanted to be sharing with you guys today on like how I did it. And um, at one point in time, just to let you know how I was with regards to ADHD. I scored like 7.5 on the TOVA test, and at that time, uh, the the psychologist that I saw on a regular basis, he said, "Congratulations, you're only the second highest among all the ADHD cases that I've taken in." So, how have I gone from being on this to where I am now? During the COVID, the reason why I got off these pills is because number one, there was lockdown, so traveling was inconvenient. Number two, cost, because during COVID, my other source of income got affected, and I just had to find ways and means to reduce cost. But at the same time, during COVID as well, I got into meditation. Now, if you're wondering, oh my God, I can't even sit still for a moment. I can't even sit through a task. How are you gonna ask me to meditate? So I'm basically going to discuss that today right here on this video. I'm going to keep it very short because I know your attention span sucks, right? So first and foremost, I want you to think of time when you're totally present. And one of the things I found out when I did the TOVA test is that, my psychologist, he explained to me, um, why is it that whenever the speed of the test got faster, I performed better than when it was slow. And he says, let me guess, when you're driving, you must be driving so well, at a high speed, and you love the high speed. If you haven't seen some of my POV videos, go check them out. It's on this channel as well, so check it out. I love driving fast. Um, Now, coming back to the high speed. So, like for me, when I drive fast, I feel more present. I want you to think about that for a moment. Think about a moment when you have been very present in your body. For me, it was driving. For you, it could be during sport. Uh, it could be, you totally suck at lectures and stuff. But I want to tell you something as well. If at school, at work meetings, you're not able to be present, it's not always your fault. Because sometimes the way that the presentation is being done, the way that the lecture is being taught, is not in such a way that can keep your presence here. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And what really happens and what makes us unable to process the information that comes at us is because our presence is not totally here. We are not totally here in our body, that we are unable and that is the reason why we're unable to process, because our processing power has been spread everywhere else. Just think of it as, your spirit is like, water. And in some cases, if you watch like anime, Japanese anime, like this is one about what I will I became a blob of slime or something like that. So there's one anime like that. If you watch that, comment down beneath this video. So anyways, let's say our spirit is like water, and it can be all over the place. It can be evaporated. So sometimes people will say that Are you there? And it's because we've just evaporated everywhere else, right? But the thing is that at the same time we can also bring ourselves back in, and that's what I want you to think about. So think about a moment when you've been like totally here, and for a moment I want you to just breathe. Just take a deep breath and notice where you are. Where did you go? Was closing your eyes and taking a deep breath already taking you somewhere else? Well, let's try that again. I want you to be take a deep breath. I want you to be right here behind your eyes. So it's like, let's breathe, our eyes closed, and now you're right here. Okay. So notice how that's different from how you usually are. And now I want you to uh, think of like the next time you do a task that you're unable to usually focus and perform well. What if you just think of a time that you've been totally present? Sports game, could be baseball, could be tennis, could be swimming, uh, or it could be when you're driving fast. And like, what if you could totally be there at that point of time? And just try to be there a bit more. And it's interesting because have you ever spoke with someone in a conversation, and the way that they look at you, they're just paying so much attention, it kind of freaks you out. And the interesting thing is that, what, you can do that too. So just tell yourself that, I am present right here behind my eyes. My mind and all of me is right here behind my eyes, and I can focus. Try that. Just try that for an increasing amount of time every day. And when you're doing your next task, the task that usually you find that you're somewhere else, what if you told yourself that this time I'm gonna do it like I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right here. Mentally, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be processing all of that and doing it right now. So not anywhere else. I'm gonna gather all my focus to here. Now, what drives our focus to various places? It could be what the nature of whatever we're doing right now. So this is actually my final notes. I want to keep this very short in this video. I know it's already taking a couple of minutes, but I thank you for staying with me. And give me a like if you're still here on this video, because I actually, this like is more like it's for yourself, for paying such good attention to what I'm speaking here on this video. So the next time you do something, I want you to try to be present for a little bit longer than you usually are. And at the same time, like, the reason why you're not present sometimes is because you're not interested, or because there are hurts and pains and things that are bothering you. So learn to release all that. For me, sometimes it's grudges. For me, it's anger. For me, it's hate. For me, it could be, like, I didn't enjoy myself fully sometimes. Now, I want you to think, there's a saying, right? There's a saying that if you constantly... Okay, I cheated. I paused the video. So, there's a saying that you're not really living life if you're just living it in your head. Most of the time, we're thinking so much of something. It's either we're thinking so much and we end up not doing something, or we're doing something but we're thinking so much at the same time, we're not just being there. So I want you to be there. I would say that finally, right, I would say that I used to be maybe like just 15% in myself. My attention is everywhere else. But I would say that nowadays, I would be about 60-70% here most of the time. And you can do that too. And you're wondering, how is that? Because our body is made of energy. Now let's save that topic for another day. Okay. Let me leave you with an exercise that you can do. And comment below if you're also going to do the exercise, and at the same time, paste me a link of the YouTube video or TikTok or whatever if you're actually doing this exercise. This exercise that I'm going to give you is like this. I want you to maintain a journal of your ADHD getting off Ritalin journey. If getting off Ritalin is what you want to do. Okay? I want you to take a video of yourself. Put the front-facing camera on, and you can actually look at yourself speaking to help yourself to focus, right? And I want you to talk about, on a day-to-day basis, what it feels like to be without this. And sometimes speaking continuously can be a little bit challenging, and that's totally fine because your thoughts could be everywhere else. No problem. There's a pause button right there, and then use that to gather your thoughts back in and press the unpause to continue again. On a day-to-day basis, just keep doing that, and in a month's time, you'll be surprised at how much fewer pauses that you actually need. And maybe in a month's time or 2 months' time, you'll be able to speak continuously like this. Well, I cheated once. Alright. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hit the subscribe button. And let's say if you have a question about coming out of ADHD or living with ADHD without medication, just comment down beneath this video what exactly you'd like to hear about it, because I've been able to get off Ritalin, and I would like to help people to get off this as well. If you find that it's affecting the way you do sport, if it's affecting some other things, or it's making, or like it's giving you uh, um, strange feelings in your brain versus to what is supposed to help you feel. Alright, thanks for watching again. This is Inspired and Random.